People like Rob Sudi produced the book Free Man Delusion. To be a free man in this country at this time is a delusion. So his book, in some parts, is correct in what he's trying to say. The rest is nonsense, which is fine. The delusion in this country, the absolute delusion being forced on the people, is that somehow the political parties which are registered with ABN numbers and they pass laws as a government when they're only a parliament, they take control of everything in this country, and if you don't do what they say, they have a penalty system which penalises you, like for refusing a breath test, when you don't have to give anything to them unless you have been committing an offence or there is other evidence that shows that the level of alcohol in your system affects the way you drive, i.e. you're wandering, whatever. Or in the case of other things, when you don't give your name. Why should you give your name to a public officer? He's not an officer of the Crown. The problem is, the political parties put up policies, and the delusion is that they somehow are going to abide by them, but they never do. They lie, they cheat, and they steal off the people. They collect huge amounts of money for wages when they're not entitled to get them. You can't change that if you're not lawful, and you're not lawful, and you don't want to know that. So, Mr. Rennick, I'm not attacking you or your credibility as a person. I'm attacking actually what you said, the Constitution. You're not interested in that, and you're not interested in the oath of allegiance, so you're not interested in representing the people, because we set that requirement by our Constitution. The High Court said it's the highest authority in this country, second to the people, of course. The supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority remains with us, the people. So your political parties that claim some form of power have none. Authority is, if they were lawfully appointed, and they're not, to form a government. Now, everybody's running around, you've got to do this, you've got to do that on voting day. What everybody needs to do is get a piece of paper and write on the top of it, I and your name have come here to vote in a lawful election. There is not one person here who is lawful, so I can't vote. I am prepared to vote, but I can't. And sign it. That's all you put. That's all you have to put. Because if you do sign it, you become part of the problem, not the solution, for the reasons I'm about to explain to you. The Constitution is clear. To create the Australia Act, they needed a referendum. They didn't, so none of that's applicable. And if you think that's incorrect, then show where the referendum was. Show what Margaret Thatcher said when she said, I want to see the results of the referendum in Australia from the people, saying they approve it. Never got it. Didn't happen because it didn't happen to us. We got nothing. If the politicians would stop thinking they're little gods. Mr. Rennick has a lot of good ideas. So does Pauline Hanson, so is her underling, whatever, and the other particular politicians have good ideas, but they're not there lawfully. They have to be selected to become part of a pool, both for state and federal elections, under the governors of the states. From that pool, we vote for one person once for the lower house, one person once for the upper house. You cannot vote in that election lawfully. The Electoral Act is nonsense. The Electoral Commission is corruption at its worst and treason on the people. It's setting up a system whereby the political parties control your vote. How? You've got multiple choices. When did that come in? The Labor Party put it in, or good old Billy Hughes, William Hughes, the Prime Minister in 1907, introduced preferential vote conscription and then tried to knock out the statute of monopolies, which is what he was trying to create, which prohibited what he was doing. The fact that all the politicians are sitting there in Parliament, they know that there is a moratorium restricting the printing of the names of the pedophiles makes them pedophiles. When they do not abide by our law, Albanese can't propose anything. He's not the Prime Minister. He's just a liar and a fraud on this country, and it's just typical of them trying to force it so they get their garbage through and people will vote for him because my daddy voted for Labor or my daddy voted for Liberal or Nationals or Greens. Try not voting for any of them because they're not lawful. The Constitution is clear. The Governor of the state selects a group of people and you vote for one person each for each house of the state parliament. And that person that you vote in represents the whole state. Because the Boundaries Act doesn't apply. Read Clause 8. States that. Under Clause 8 we're a self-governing colony of England. Like it or lump it, here we are. All the lies in the world are not going to take that out or change that in any way, shape or form. Now, at federal level, then I take you to HCA 39 and 1915. Sir Samuel Griffiths, one of the people who wrote the Constitution, he said at paragraph 148 and continued on, here you find 106 binds the state constitution and all laws made pursuant to it to the overriding authority of the Commonwealth Constitution. And then he says it's beyond the legislative authority for any parliament of a state to pass a law that contravenes the federal law made pursuant to the Constitution. So all these plenary powers spoken of by Anne Toomey and others, they don't exist the way you say. The High Court's already ruled where the plenary comes in. It's in control of the legislature, which doesn't, no one has control. They have the right to look at and pass any act put to it for deliberation by the executive. There is no such thing as a cabinet. You say there is, you're a liar and a fraud on this country. There's no such office of Prime Minister. That title was given to the Speaker. At state level, the Speaker is at state level. Do they have authority? No. The highest authority in the state parliament is the government. Don't like it? The letters patent for the office of Governor states that. The letters patent, which by the way is reciprocal, it keeps continuing, for the office of Governor General is the same. He is the highest authority in the Parliament. Like it or lump it, that's him. He signs off on behalf of the Crown and he is the highest authority. It doesn't matter what you want. We voted in 1999 to retain our system, the Crown system. Why? Because we wanted it. It's whereas the people, not whereas politicians or political parties or self-interested groups who want to control this country. It's not your business. The Constitution is very, very, very clear. We, the people, join together in one indissoluble federation of the Commonwealth of Australia. We the people. Not we the politicians, we interested parties or any other clown. Not the Freemasons, Fabians, Druids, Buffaloes, whatever, Zionists, whatever they want to be. Who cares? You have no authority. We joined together. And it was representatives of us who went about putting together the Constitution drafts. It was taken to England by Sir Edmund Barton and others. It came back an enabling act which enabled us to have a constitution pursuant to that act. That act restrains our parliaments. Why? Because we voted it to be our constitution. And it seals and locks in the parliament. It can only pass laws pursuant to the Constitution. Interpretation of the Constitution is open to the High Court and any court of competent jurisdiction. We have never had a lawful federal parliament, so nothing they've ever passed is valid. So there goes your Australia Act. Now, in answer to Anne Toomey again, in relation to local government, there is nowhere in the Constitution that gives authority to any government over land. The 1923 case was against the New South Wales versus the Commonwealth, the people, to get permission to tax land. And the High Court said no, because of the definition of fee simple, which stands. That was reiterated in Fijo versus the Northern Territory. Justice Kirby made it clear, and he referred back to that case to clarify it for anybody who can't be bothered reading. It's there. Get it, read it, and weep.
Well, I sold my soul to the devil. I sold it for fortune and for fame. Well, I'm starting to regret my decision. I wish I had my soul back again.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a tough bargain with it. You know, long time gone. I'm holding up my hand.
Well, I sold it to the chief commander. In this world, in a world we just don't see. Well, I'm keeping up my end of the bargain. And this will be my destiny. Yes, I sold my soul to the devil. I sold it for fortune and for fame. Well, I'm starting to regret my decision. I wish I had my soul back again.
What was your bargain to get where I am now?
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth and then the world we can't see.
Well, the devil gave me things I'd always dreamed of. In fact, that dude wrote all of my songs. They were magically crafted from the darkest of realms. The wizard makes you blindly sing along. So sing along, 'cause I sold my soul to the devil. I sold it for fortune and for fame. Well, I'm starting to regret my decision. I wish I had my soul back again.
Try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. You know, it's a different kind of penetrating magic.
Well, I wish I never went to those crossroads to make a deal that got me where I am. Look into my eyes, you can see I'm dead inside. My soul is gone and I'm a broken man. 'Cause I sold my soul to the devil. I sold it for fortune and for fame. Yeah, I'm starting to regret my decision. Yeah, I wish I had my soul back again.